Understanding rotations, lesson 19 notes, example number 4. Rotate triangle FGH 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. Label the image F prime, G prime, H prime. Then rotate triangle FGH, so we're rotating the same triangle twice, 180 degrees clockwise about the origin, and label this image F double prime, G double prime, H double prime. Okay, so let's start with the 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. So let's scroll up here. Here is our 90 degree our counterclockwise, and here is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees counterclockwise is negative yx. Negative yx. So down here, beside 90 degrees counterclockwise, I want you to write negative yx. Okay, so that means we are going to take our y-coordinates. We're going to take the opposite of them and make them our x-coordinates. We will take the y-coordinates, take the opposite of those y-coordinates, and make them our x-coordinates. So the opposite of 6 would become negative 6. The opposite of 3 would become negative 3. And then for h prime, the opposite of 3 would become negative 3. Now, it says x, so I'm going to take my x-coordinates, and they don't change. So my x-coordinates now will become my y-coordinates. So the y-coordinate for f prime is 5, for g prime it's 6, and for h prime it's 2. So again, they flipped around, and I took the opposite of the original y-coordinates. Okay, so negative 6, 5 is f prime. Negative 3, 6 is g prime. And negative 3, 2 is h prime. So again, because you're using notability, if you go between the two and hold it, it will make your triangle straight for you. And then you can just move these around till they hit the, well, you can try anyway. Let me try that again. Maybe I'll just go from point to point. There we go. I'm going to make this thicker so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. So, and this down here would be h prime. So we took this, 90 degrees counterclockwise was one quadrant to the left, and it turned, rotated. So we got f prime, g prime, h prime. All right, now we have to take this original figure again and rotate it 180 degrees clockwise. 180 would be 2 quadrants away. So it's going to be in this quadrant right here. Let's go up here. 180 degree rotation, and it doesn't matter which direction. 180 degrees is always the opposite of x, the opposite of y. The opposite of x, the opposite of y. So let's put the opposite of x, the opposite of y. So this time we won't be flipping anything around. Nothing gets flipped around. The x stays where it was, the y stays where it was. We just need to look to see if we need to make it opposite or not. And in this case, 180 degrees, both become the opposite. So the positive 5 would become negative 5. Positive 6 would become negative 6. For g double prime, positive 6 would become negative 6. Positive 3 would become negative 3. H double prime, positive 2 would become negative 2. Positive 3 would become negative 3. Remember, these negative signs don't mean you just make the numbers negative. It means you take the opposite. Because all my original ordered pairs, every number was positive, so the opposite would be to make them all negative. But if any one of those numbers were negative, the opposite would then become positive. for example, if I had the original point was K and it was negative 3, 4, that means if it was rotated 180 degrees, the opposite of negative 3 would become positive 3, the opposite of positive 4 would become negative 4. And then that would be your 180 degree rotation. The negative became positive and the positive became negative. Okay. All right. Now, get rid of my lines. Now we're going to graph our F double prime, G double prime, H double prime. So I'm going to go to negative 5, negative 6. That's going to be F double prime. Negative 6, negative 3 will be G double prime. And negative 2, negative 3 will be H double prime. So what it should look like is it's flipped twice. First flipped down and then flipped across. Connect your points. And there is F prime, F double prime, G double prime, H double prime. All right, that is it for our rotation notes. If you have any questions, let me know.